Okay, hey, it's Adrian. It's, oh goodness, February 13th, and I am 3.8 into my 30-mile long run. Last week I did the URI 40 race. So just back here out at Umstead again, doing some laps for the 100. Trying to scope out the start finish. They're cutting some trees down, so I can't really go down there. I was gonna try and film a little bit for the start finish, but they're doing some tree work, so can't go down there. But having a rough motivation week this week. Yeah, I did the race, the 40 miler went well. You know, a long day, 9 hours and 15 minutes, and then my plan called for 15 miles the following day, so I did that. That was rough. I just did it on the treadmill. I got it done. Can't remember the pace. It was like, you know, maybe 11, 12. It was slower, but for a treadmill run, but not terribly slow. And then Tuesday, so I skipped Monday. Monday's day off. Tuesday I did 4 on the treadmill. Wednesday I was supposed to do 15, but I pushed that back. I did the 6 I was supposed to do on Thursday, I did on Wednesday. And that was it wasn't hard physically, but just kind of like, I didn't want to do it. And Thursday, I skipped. I didn't do the 15 on Thursday, but I did it late Friday night. Margaret, my wife, was away, so I had a race. She did the Charlotte 10 miler yesterday. I did great. PR, I think 3rd in her age group, and like 12th or something for women. So she did great. Good job, Margaret. And so Friday night she was gone, so I got on the treadmill and again kind of but it wasn't because there's a treadmill. I in the winter it's not bad, but I run on the treadmill all the time, so it's not like, oh, it's on the treadmill, I hate that. It was just like, yeah, like I said, this week I've just not been feeling like going out and running. And so yesterday I was supposed to do this 30-mile run, and I didn't do anything. I skipped. So the original plan called for 30 miles yesterday and 15 today, and so I'm gonna end up 15 miles short this week because I just didn't feel like going out. And today was also kind of a, I'm only 4 miles into it, but normally 30-mile run like this, I'd get up, I'd be out of the house by 6, 7, something like that. I think right now it's 10:14, so yeah, I started at like 9:30 or something. So I don't know what's going on. I think it's just a big week last week with the race and everything, and then I guess I've been mentioning I've been having nutrition issues, and so it just adds another, like, do I want to eat that crap again? For another weekend, spend 6 hours or whatever out eating stuff that I don't really enjoy. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's just race food. So I'm trying to, I think the next few weeks, I've only got like 6 or 7 weeks or something crazy. I'm gonna try doing more like real food as back of the truck. Not really carrying any more real food, but anyway, so I'm starting off. I mean, yeah, so 4.25 now. That was the start. So it's been uphill so far from that point, from when I started recording. But anyway, I'll check in later and tell you how it's going. All right, bye. Okay, it's just past 10 miles. Been out here an hour and 51 minutes. And I was talking before about like motivation this week. And I think now that I've had a few more miles to think about it, I think I kind of, my head kind of gets stuck in like race mode. And what I mean is, when I ran URI last week, I had a goal, like a time goal, and I wanted to get a PR. And so I was like pushing and pushing and pushing, like the whole time. You know, don't take a rest, or take what I need, but just keep moving and always go. And if there's a chance to push, take it. And I think this week, as I was thinking, doing my longer runs, I felt like I just didn't have the mental energy to like do that. Like I was just like, oh, it's gonna be hard, and I'm gonna be out there, and it's gonna take a lot of effort. And I got out here and I'm just running, and I've been trying. Well, after last week, I've decided that as far as for the 100 goes, like to start running a little bit more realistically, like slow it down, and kind of past that phase in my training where I'm like trying to get my pace down. And so it's always like, I feel like if you run marathons or kind of any race, like you can't really bank time. Maybe if the course allows you to, like if you know that you're gonna have a lot of like downhill at the end of a race, and you can kind of relax, but your pace is still pretty decent. But so the way I've been doing a lot of my races, and again, I've only been doing ultras like a year and a half, I guess, or not even that, but all of last year, 2021, and now 2 here in 2022 so far. Kind of like, oh well, eventually you're gonna slow down, so try to go a little harder. I'm not running like 6-minute miles or anything the first 10 miles, but running like 9 something, 10 something, and then eventually slowing down. And my last couple of races, they've been very hilly, but I'm averaging like 14 minutes ish. So long way of saying, I after last week's race, I've decided to, let's start off a little slower, maybe 12-13 minute pace. And that's kind of in my race plan. I can go over that at another time, but kind of start off at that pace. So I got out here thinking, oh, this is gonna be awful and draining and whatever. And I'm still averaging 11:07 right now at 10 miles. But it's been relaxed. It's been, just coming out here, kind of walked up hills, even they're not that bad. Then just kind of jog the flats to the downhills, and like I said, I'm still averaging 11:07, 10 miles in. And I don't have that like you gotta go kind of mentality. And so I think that's something I have to work on, is after a big race, just realizing that the following week when I have a long run, it's not going to be like that. It's not going to be like, oh, I gotta push, I gotta wear myself out. It's just get out there, have your time on feet, enjoy the scenery and the run, and like music or a podcast. It's fun. So I think, obviously there's time when your body is tired, and you you really don't want to, or you have some kind of pain or something. But that's that's something I have to work on, is just bouncing back from a race mentally. Physically, you know, obviously it takes a few days, you're sore, you don't really want to get off the couch or go down the stairs or anything, but you know, after a few days that goes away. And I think for me it's been kind of a mental thing, like I've got to get out there and it's just gonna be grueling, or yeah, I've got to find a way to mentally force my way through it. And yeah, it doesn't have to be that way. You just go out there and do something, and you know, eventually you'll start enjoying it, you'll get into it. So anyway, maybe that's just personal advice for myself, but that's I'm kind of glad that I got into, kind of settled into that mindset of like, you know, it's a nice day. I mean, we're in later, but it's in that 40-degree weather today, so that's been something that I haven't run in for a while. I mean, 30s up to 40s, but this has basically been 40s all the way. I'm just wearing shorts today, which I haven't done in a long time. Yeah. So anyway, just want to let you know that the run was going better now, and that just to make a note to myself that, you know, it's not always going to be mentally tough. So all right, I'll check in later. Thanks. All right, I'm almost at 23 miles. It's just starting to sprinkle and rain a little bit, so I wanted to bring the camera out in case it starts raining harder and I don't get to record later. I didn't realize it was kind of raining until a couple of minutes ago. I went by a little lake and I could see the rain on the water. I'm just so wet, sweaty, and you know, it's kind of cold anyway, so wasn't really noticing that it started raining. Anyway, things are still going well. I'm still averaging 11:15 pace, which is good. That includes like all the, like, I did some filming for my parents separate from this video, just to kind of give them a layout of what the camp looked like, what the aid station looked like, just so they have an idea, because they're going to be crewing for me. So yeah, that 11:15 average kind of it does include that kind of just walking around and showing that part. So the other update is, because I did go into the camps a couple of times to look, normally this Umstead loop, the full one, not the one from the for the 100-mile race, but the full loop from the parking lot, is about 14 miles. But because of all my exploring down there, I got through the first loop, it was 18. So I was supposed to do 30 today, and I just decided it was easier to just do another loop instead of doing like an out and back. So it looks like I'm going to end up with 23 miles today. I mean 32 miles instead of 30. So I just hit 23. That's why that was in my head. So yeah, I mean, it's a big change, you know, from the beginning of this video and beginning of this run. I didn't want to be here, but it's turned out to be a nice day. Listened to podcasts for a while, and then now I'm listening to some music, kind of giggling, because the other day I was like, picked some random, I think it was like a ludicrous playlist from Spotify, and it had a lot of like crunk music, like Little John and things like that from, you know, the 2000s. So it's just kind of funny to listen to again after years and years. So that's keeping me going, putting me in a good mood. So I will most likely not check in again until the finish. All right, see you then. Bye. All right, so we're done. Today's just, what a weird day. You know, I think I did definitely started the video, like, I struggled this week. I didn't want to come out here today. You know, I skipped a day. Well, I skipped yesterday. I was supposed to do this run yesterday and do 15 today. So I ended up with 32 miles at 11:13 pace. So my pace stayed the same the whole time. But the surprising thing was, and I didn't even know this until I passed mile 31, and I was coming up on 32, and I was like, oh, you know, I'll finish in almost exactly 6 hours. Well, as soon as I realized that, I realized my 50K PR, granted it was on a course that had 8,000 feet of gain. Today's run had 2,500 feet. But my 50K PR is about 630. So I had about a 45-minute 5K PR today. I mean, 5K, Jesus. Imagine if it took me that long. 50K PR. So it just goes to show you, just, I don't know, I guess just mind frame. And like I said before, like early in the, you know, in the video, I said how last week I was just pushing and like had to get out of that mindset during this run and actually trying to slow myself down at the early part of the run. And I think that worked, because I was able to hold that pace the whole time. Whereas before I'm kind of running 9s or 10s, and you know, and then I'm slowing down. So yeah, you know, it's like, kind of seems like one of those made up type of videos where it's like, oh, let me go out there and you know, show you like this evolution, and no, it just happened. I just didn't want to be here today. Like I said, I didn't get out here until like 9:30 or something, and normally I would be out here at like 6:37. So but I ended up with a 50K PR. So anyway, other than that, everything went pretty well. With about, you know, 5 miles to go, I was really wanting some like real food, but it wasn't anything serious. It was just like, I'm hungry. I think part of that's because I started so late and ate breakfast really early, thinking I was going to get out here, and I didn't. So and other than that, it just kept sprinkling for a bit, and then as soon as I got done, you can see now, but it is like, there's my windshield, it's definitely raining now, but that just happened like right after I kind of got to the truck and was putting everything, changing my clothes and stuff like that. Luckily I was able to change most of my clothes before it started raining. So anyway, thanks for checking this out. Yeah, like I said, it was just a surprise to me, because I didn't want to be out here, and it ended up being one of my best runs. So you never know. So all right, thanks. I'll put out some, you know, probably trying to do this once a week, just, you know, for my own, but if anybody else is interested. So all right, thanks a lot. See you soon.